Hey everyone, I'm Amar Ali, and in this video, I'll be breaking into my not so new Moleskine sketchbook that's been lying around and collecting dust for years, but I never actually got around to using it. So without further ado, let me just unwrap this in the most unsophisticated way possible. I'm super excited to finally draw on the first spread of this sketchbook because I stopped using Sketchbook several years ago for reasons I'll ramble about later in this video. So first things first, I'm going to find a reference to inspire my drawing. I'm guilty of being overly protective of my sketchbooks in the past, so I don't want to go crazy and draw something super elaborate or intimidating on the first page of the sketchbook. And I actually love these gorgeous sketches by Sargent, which I think make the perfect inspiration to start this sketchbook. For context, these are preliminary sketches of the beautiful Madame Virginie Quatreau that Sargent made around 1884 in preparation for the Madame X painting, which was considered by Sargent as his best work. So as I draw this, allow me to ramble a bit about why I stopped using sketchbooks in the past. So I've always felt intimidated by sketchbooks, and as embarrassing as it may sound, I don't think I've actually been able to finish an entire sketchbook except for a really tiny one because I always fall into the trap of trying to create the perfect sketchbook instead of using it to capture ideas, experiment, and have fun. So, after abandoning several sketchbooks because I felt they looked ugly, I decided to just stop using sketchbooks altogether. And for the past few years, what I've been doing is I've been practicing drawing on A4 paper sheets. And to be honest, it's been quite liberating because it has allowed me to draw for drawing's sake without worrying how each drawing fits into the grand scheme of a sketchbook. But you might ask why I'm starting a sketchbook if not using one has worked so well. Firstly, I'm kind of running out of ideas to make videos about on this channel, and I thought starting a new sketchbook and documenting that would give me the opportunity to work on some videos that are fun to make and don't require a week to plan, film, and edit. But more importantly, I've always missed the nostalgic feeling of looking back at my cringy sketchbooks in retrospect and see how far I've come along as an artist. I know I could probably organize my individual sketches into a portfolio that works pretty much like a sketchbook, but I'm too lazy to do that, and I'm actually also planning to try different mediums like watercolor, gouache, and pastels. So I'm hoping this sketchbook will be able to tolerate those mediums well. So my goals for this sketchbook are to simply document things that inspire me and learning to be okay with sketches that don't turn out as well as I had hoped. My plan for this page is to draw this sketch on top and add this faint looking sketch underneath it in a way that this arm aligns with the back of the head in the sketch below to create an interesting rhythm. So before drawing any details, I'm going to start with blocking in the rough outline of all three sketches just to make sure I have everything where I want to be. One trick that I learned to draw the shapes and angles more quickly from observation was to focus on the shape of the negative space between the objects instead of the shape of the object itself, which is kind of what I usually tend to focus on. So, for example, in this drawing, I'm trying to focus on the shape between these two sketches as well as the negative space around the sketches. This is something I've picked up from an exercise in Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain by Betty Edwards, which is a classic drawing book which I think is a great read for beginners. In hindsight, I feel like I've messed up the angle of the arm, which should have been slightly more angled, but overall I'm happy with how the first spread of this sketchbook turned out. Let me know what you think, and special thanks to everyone who has stuck around till now. Please like this video, and I'll see you in the next one.